Good morning. I thought I would just bring you guys along for my little garden harvest I'm going to do this morning. It's kind of totally out of the blue that I'm deciding to film this, but I figured why not. Mostly I'm going for tomatoes today. There might be some cucumbers. I think I need to harvest basil. I have peppers, but they're not really quite ready yet. I need to check cucumbers and maybe I'll pick some flowers, but that's just, let's go see what we can find, I guess. So here's a look at the garden from this angle. It's kind of crazy. Some of these pepper plants got really big. I think there's habanero and jalapeno in here. This is ghost peppers and the plant looks okay, but there's no peppers growing on it. As you can see, the weeds have gotten out of control again. My hollyhocks all flopped over. I collected seeds from them the other day, actually. I hear all the honeybees in here. They love that patch. The kids collect all the cherry tomatoes for me. You can see it looks like there's a few that I should probably pick, but they do a pretty good job of keeping up on those. Here's my main tomato patch. You can see how crazy this all looks. Tomatoes, and then the tomatoes I was gifted from a friend are along the edge, and I'm gonna have to check and see what I have that needs to be picked because some of those were just starting to ripen as well. Now I do not know what all of these tomato types are because I didn't keep the labels. I know this is the like Cherokee purple, and these ones I always have a really bad time with them splitting. Like, it's a constant problem with those. I probably shouldn't grow them because of that, but I think they just look cool. So I keep growing at least a plant or two every year. Now, if you missed any of my other garden tours, look at how big that basil is. I don't like using tomato cages for my tomato plants. So these guys are tied up on a piece of no-climb fencing that we just had left over, basically in lieu of a cattle panel. You see a lot of people use cattle panels, and I didn't feel like buying one, and we had a little section of fencing, so that is what we ended up with. I know I have like some Wisconsin 55 tomatoes in here somewhere, and like a big boy and a better boy, and trying to remember all the varieties that I purchased. I got a lot of them from some Amish stores around here because you can get a pack of tomatoes for $3-4, where if you went to, say, Home Depot or even some of the garden centers, it's a lot more. Home Depot, you'd pay about $5, but for a tomato plant, which is just insane. At that point, you're not saving any money growing food. You'd be better off going to a farmer's market. See, I have all these vining plants everywhere. This is where my onions were. Hello, Shadow. So I have one little spot of emptiness in here. This is all weeds, but I have a lot of vining plants in here. I have one watermelon growing, but it's quite small. And my other like summer melons I won't get anything from. Here's a little pumpkin. These are my zucchini. Not really seeing any that are big enough that need to be picked right now, which is fine because I have several large zucchini in the house that I should work on shredding today. So not having to add more to that pile is okay by me. These ones are delicious. I have no idea what type they are. I'm not too picky. I just kind of grab what they have to offer and what sounds interesting. And I use them. I've been making a lot of tomato sauce. I actually need to learn how to can it. I've never had enough tomatoes that I've needed to can my tomato sauce. I've always just froze. But I have, gosh, 40 some plants this year, and they're all doing pretty well. So I should figure out how to can them. We have all the supplies. My mom canned growing up. It's just something that I had never done myself. And obviously I need to do that because we have half of a cow in the freezer right now and a whole pig. Soon we'll be filling it with venison, and we just don't need to give up freezer space to a bunch of tomatoes. This one got a little yucky. I'll just pop him over the fence. The chickens come right along the back of the garden, so they kind of have learned that if I get anything I don't want, I chuck it over there for them. These tomato plants did not get tied up. I just really did not have the time, and I ran out of baling twine. I didn't have quite the stash of baling twine that I thought that I did. I'm going to continue going along this edge and picking all the tomatoes, and then we'll see what else we can find. Right, this is what I ended up with. We've got a lot of tomatoes, a few cucumbers, a summer squash, a couple dragon tongue beans, green basil, purple basil, and a few fresh flowers to go in the house. I'm always switching up flowers. Actually, I have a handful or a shirt full of basil. Here, I'll show you. So I kind of knew that I should have brought another harvest basket out with me. But once I get going, I have a hard time stopping and walking out of this jungle and into the house to get something else and come back out. So it works. I'm headed into the house to make pesto and tomato sauce. Maybe I'll come out later and attempt to weed. It's a never-ending battle. I could use like 5 full-time volunteers to fight the weeds in this clay. And actually I had kind of caught up on it again. Ooh, hello bee. And then we went away on another vacation, just a little like 4-day camping trip, and it rained down here the entire time, which made everything explode. So it's okay, it was worth it. I love camping. So, and now I'm losing basil, so yeah, that's it. That's the little garden harvest. Thanks for watching if you stuck around this long.